Now, listen, you guys, we're going to be talking about Beyonce and the Cowboy Carter ticket sales. It does seem like, well, something is going on in as far as that is concerned. And we will also be discussing about Paprika Spice getting ready to come back to the music scene. And at the same time, Lottery Ticket is also gearing up to come back. And at the same time, Doechii's PR package is seemingly big firing on her. And we are going to be talking about all of that. Hello, tea lovers, and welcome to the tea blog. I trust you guys are doing well, and I trust you are doing great. Personally, I am doing great. You guys, I am doing extremely amazing. And without further ado, let us dive straight into today's tea. So, first of all, let us talk about Beyonce. It is being reported that, well, it seems like the Cowboy Carter ticket sales are not exactly moving the way that people would have expected for a Beyonce tour. Now, allegedly, she is struggling to, sell, especially in Europe. And of course, some people are coming through with different reasons as to why her ticket sales are not moving. Some are citing the pricing, as some people feel like the tickets are overpriced, and fans really are not ready to be paying that much of money, towards a tour. But I'm just like, isn't this the same range that she had for the Renaissance tour, or what exactly is happening? Number two, people are also saying that generally her core fans don't feel like Cowboy Carter is that album. They feel like, well, Renaissance is something that they could relate more to than Cowboy Carter. And at the same time, people are also citing the fact that, well, the case with the husband and the husband's involvement in these cases is what is causing the fans not to support. Personally, I would just say that maybe, it's the money issue. That's what I would like to be inclined towards. And that being said, again, I mean, I do remember at some point when the Renaissance tour tickets went on sale, there were several reports also saying that she's struggling to sell. But what we saw afterwards were absolutely sold out shows. So at this moment, I'm going to take this with a grain of salt because people do that a lot, okay? People do that often. And yeah, it's very interesting. And that being said, I wanted to talk about this the other day. I wanted to talk about the issue of touring data. Where is that page? Isn't it interesting that during the Gig City tour, there was a page that was seemingly on the clock reporting on everything that was happening at Gig City, whether Nicki Minaj sneezed, whether Nicki farted, if the Babs sneezed, it would literally be on that page. But where is that page right now? Was it set up specifically for Nicki Minaj? Because oftentimes you would see it updating, oh, Nicki was late to this show, or this show was not sold out, or this and that. But I'm not seeing the same energy for any other shows, any other tours. So I'm just like, was this set up specifically for Nicki Minaj? If this isn't weird, I don't know what is. I really just applaud Nicki Minaj for having such a thick skin because, wow, imagine people dedicating an entire page to keep track of whatever you're going to do for your tour. And they don't have the same energy for anything else. It's sad, honestly. It's very pathetic, okay? Now, moving on to the next thing that we are going to be talking about. We're going to talk about Paprika Spice. It does seem like Paprika Spice has decided to go back in her thick bag. Now, you guys do know that recently she had, noticeably lost a lot of weight, which had fans speculating what could be the reasons. And some people feeling like, well, maybe that it's a health issue. And some people, accusing her of using the OZ. But it seems like Paprika has decided to go back to her normal weight or has recovered back to her normal weight. And with the weight comes the music, I guess. I guess that's how it works for her because now she is previewing new music and I would like to have an opinion on that music, but well, or to change at least my opinion on her music, but I don't have any change of opinion except that, well, Riot seems to not be tagged on that song. That's one nice thing that I can talk about in as far as the song is concerned. Otherwise, I've got nothing else nice to say about the music. Unfortunately, I don't. There is no evolution. It's the same old stuff, in my own opinion. But anyway, let me know in the comment section, did you come across Paprika Spice's in a new song, and how do you feel about that? Now, moving on to the next thing that we're going to be talking about, still talking about the female rappers. Let us talk about Lottery Ticket. Lottery Ticket is also previewing a song, is also gearing up for a musical comeback. And let's see how everything is actually going to turn out for her. I mean, at some point, I do know that she really did think that she was all that in as far as, music is concerned, to a point where she started feeling like, well, Nicki is jealous of her because she had been nominated at the Scammers. And once again, this is yet another example of a girl that was gassed up by, shea butter Twitter into thinking that she's all of that, only for them to let her fall down and let her be embarrassed by music styles that don't match the hype that they gave her and the false confidence they basically fed her. Okay, she had a big head at some point, thinking that she was all of that. And so to watch all of these girls crash out in real time, we can joke, we can say all we want to say, but at the end of the day, it's very sad because some of them are really talented, and to see them ruining the chances of them making it big because of social media and people who have these vendettas these people just use those girls to prove a point. And it's not nice. If you're not someone's fan, don't pretend to be a fan on social media, because they're going to count on you. And at the end of the day, you're not going to deliver. Okay, using somebody else out of spite and, acting like you like them just so you can prove a point to a person that you don't like, in the long run, you are ruining that person's chance of actually coining actual fans. Okay, there are some people that we genuinely did like and we genuinely did support. But when you come in with this negativity, with this unnecessary comparison, it turns people off. It really does turn people off, and it's unnecessary. And you may think that you are... It's really not nice, okay? Listen, I am a Nicki Minaj fan, but watching these girls crash out like this, it's actually very sad. And it's like, at the same time also, they dug their own graves and now they've got no option but to lay in them, okay? So let me know in the comment section, you guys, what you think about that. Now, whilst we are still talking about female rappers, it seems like people will try the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result, because the same is now happening for Doechii. And I really am trying to avoid talking about this girl because the narrative will always be, oh, we are salty, but the formula is not working. Okay, the formula is not working. Whatever they put in place, the overhyping her is really not working. If anything, when you go on social media, the discourse is there about her. Of course, people are talking about her, but when you look at it, it's it's not necessary, to the point where TDE Punch, from TDE basically had to say something about the way people are no longer receiving Doechii. Yeah, it is that bad, you guys, because all over social media, they are now calling her an industry plant. So now at the end of the day, maybe giving a Grammy award when, her mixtape was probably undeserving was not the best move. But hey, if we mention it, they will say that, well, we're saying that just because Nicki doesn't have a Grammy. So, but if it's bad enough to the point where Punch has to address it, then maybe you have done something wrong. So Punch now in their defense is saying that, well, what is an industry plant? Doechii has been evolving over the years. We get it. But so are several other female rappers that have, there are a lot of other talented female rappers that have been evolving over the years. And the reason why the likes of Cousin Sloth were very were very appealing to a lot of people last year is because the sales, the hype, it was organic. I promise you, if Cousin Sloth had been named Billboard Woman of the Year right now, no one would be complaining. I will promise you, because there is evidence on what she did last year. There is evidence of her likability in as far as the music is concerned. There is evidence for that. But to just randomly take this person from point 1 to point 10 and assume that people are not going to cloak that there is an obvious push is just underestimating the power of social media and the power of the digital age. But I will insert, Punch tweets. And, what he had to say is basically saying that since when does having a strategy equate to being an industry plan? You are allowed to have a strategy, but if your strategy is to force an artist down other people's throats through all these, media publications and giving them these accolades and cosigns and stuff like that, it may have adverse effects. And these are the adverse effects that we are looking at now. Okay, because before Doja, there was Doechii. Before Doechii, I'm sorry, there was Doja Cat. Before Doja Cat, there was Nicki Minaj. And so, in this particular case, it's blaming the Babs and Nicki Minaj alone is not going to cut it, because there are a lot of people that are looking at this and saying, okay, but this girl is biting off this girl's style, but we never saw you giving this girl accolades for doing these things, and now you're giving somebody who's copying that girl accolades. So it's not just about Nicki Minaj right now. It's not about the Babs right now. And I guess that's why it's different this time. That's why that whole narrative is not working. But anyway, if they like it, we absolutely love it. And the desire to trend and be talked about and to be the different in thing is what also led her to say whatever she said about her dating preference, and that straight men are like this and they're like that. In my own opinion, it was just hair fishing for a viral moment, which she got, but she got it in, I don't think these are the results that she was expecting. I know that they do say that all publicity is good publicity, but to a certain extent, especially when it's sensitive things like this, and when it's mainly a certain community that is supporting you, and you begin to say things like this, it can have an adverse impact. And I could tell you that before she made that statement, people were still supporting her, despite knowing that she is an industry plant. But when she made that interest, it opened up conversation for people to say, who is she? Why is it like every 2 minutes I'm seeing her on my timeline? What is happening? That brought attention to her, but not in a positive way. If anything, right now, more than her talent, people are talking about the gimmicks, people are talking about the PR, everything has overshadowed her music. And if you do not know Doechii prior to this push, I don't want to see you in the comment section acting like this, because some of us really have been listening to this girl and have been willing to support this girl. But this push makes everything inorganic. And there are people that just don't like inorganic things, because at the end of the day, to some people that are intellectually there, they don't want people to feel like we are manipulating you into liking a certain somebody. And that can take away from the support that they're willing to give another person. Too much of something is never a good idea. And I feel like this is the case with this. But anyway, I digress. You guys let me know in the comment section what you think about everything that is going on. The Joe Biden podcast also decided to take time to talk about everything that is going on. Well, they allege that, there's some polarization from TDE, from, you got what I'm saying. So, of course, people are like, listening to the Joe Biden podcast talk about any TDE artist. I don't know, the people felt like it will always be biased. But I guess Joe has begun to realize that, listen, if I do too much, people are not even going to take my opinion to mean anything at this point. And yeah, so let me know, you guys, in the comment section what you think about this push. What do you think an industry plant is? And Rolling Stone is even following up with an article saying that, well, the dislike that people have towards Doechii on the internet is, unjustified. I don't know if whenever there is justified dislike. And these articles are even making it worse. In my own opinion, I feel like everything that they're doing right now, they're making it worse, okay? It's sad to watch, okay? Because for the longest of time, people have been rooting for there to be a dark-skinned female rapper that gets to have resources, okay? You can have resources, but if you use too many resources at once, it can come off inauthentic and inorganic, just like a child, okay? You're raising a child, you shower them with too many resources, they don't know what to concentrate on. And at the end of the day, it can work adversely. So I feel like this is the case with TDE. Maybe if they'd allowed her to drop her album or singles and then start rolling out, the articles, the everything that is going on. Because right now, it's Doechii, but no one is talking about her music, her bars. No, nobody's talking about that. It's always, she said this, she did this, she got this article said this. But anyway, if they like it, like I said, we love it. I will insert what Joe Budden had to say, but I don't think that after that I'm going to be coming back. So that being said, thank you very much, you guys, for watching. And thank you very much for making it this far. If you have not already, what are you waiting for? Smash that subscribe button and do turn on the notification bell so that you will be notified each and every time that I post. Until my next one, see you.
Of that. One, if Doechii is fluid, which she is, to my knowledge, she don't date straight men. So if you're asking somebody what is a red flag in the people that you date, and you respond with people that you don't date, then what is the point of that other than to be divisive and to offend?
Because you're trying
or to warrant some type of attention.
And this is where I took her side. I just think it was misinterpreted. I think she treated red flag as what is something you see that makes you say, "Oh, no, I'm good."
Yeah, exactly.
That's how people use red flag.
That's what a red flag. So to her, so let's say Doechii like to do some things with her dude that a straight man might not be okay with.
Like,
use your imagination. Don't you do it?
But we don't even have to do that. She allegedly, because I can't speak to nobody's sex business, don't date straight men.
Cool. What I'm saying is,
she might have even said that up here.
I feel like she did.
She did. Yeah. So, something like that.
So then, what the fuck is she talking about straight men for?
Because if she is, if she's on a date with a guy,
hold on, let me land first. Which is because Mark and people speak a lot about representation and how it's important to be represented in certain spaces. So when we have Doechii up here, and when we see Doechii getting these awards, and when we see her winning, like, straight black men feel represented also. Like, they can identify with that.
That's fine. We still feel represented.
So there's really no point in whoever is carrying the baton for you, let them carry the baton.
So you say
whether they whether they gay, whether they transgender, is no reason to pinpoint anybody who not only you're representing, but who's carrying the baton for you.
So you feel
and say, red flag, danger.
So you feel like that was her alienating a certain portion of her fan base just by saying something like that.
I mean,
I think it's blown out of proportion, though.
I absolutely do.
Honestly, I think Doechii was just literally saying,
I think she was being
like, if she's on a first date with a guy and the guy says, or she just meets a guy, get a guy number or something, and y'all get to talking, and he lets her know he's a straight man, I'm good.
I also think the show is especially,
and I don't think there's nothing wrong with that.
I think it's a little
type
jokey.
Of nigga she like.
That's what I'm saying. I think there's a lot of performance
right, so y'all pulling out
and a little
every excuse. No. She don't know what red flag mean. She's joking. And what's the other one y'all said?
See, I'm saying I do think she know what red flag mean. I think she's using the way most people use it. I think that she has a type. And I think it's okay to say that when I meet somebody who's not that thing, that's a flag for me. For example,
but wait, that's exactly where we're having the disagreement here.
Right.
If somebody asks me, "Hey, what's a red flag for you in your dating?" and I say,
"I get you,"
then I can't act surprised when the gay women say,
wait.
No, but here's
wouldn't
the
that
difference.
be a red flag for you?
What'd you say?
No,
wouldn't that be a red flag for you?
It wouldn't be a red flag because
she doesn't like men.
But that's not the point.
I get what he's saying. He's saying obviously if this whole sort is something you don't deal with, then saying that they're a red flag just alienates them because that's not your type. I mean, that's not your thing. I hear that. What I'm saying is I don't operate from the premise that she doesn't date any straight men. I think based on all the interviews I've seen, she dates men. And she does not have a problem dating. And I think that there's a certain thing she wants in men, emotionally, physically, sexually, whatever, that she tends to find in men who are not straight. And so the red flag for her comes when she meets a dude who's straight.
I would like somebody who's potentially the female rapper that's gonna carry the next however many years with all the success, and she's extremely talented. To not be on some, hey, let's divide the people and straight men are the red flag and yada yada.
For her, I do not think that I do not think that.
I'm not saying that.
I'm
but that is how it came off.
Okay, so Joe, if you like, right, and somebody said, "What's a red flag for you?" and you said, and they said, "A straight girl." Would that be alienating straight women? You want a girl who's it's no different.
It's the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Oh, I don't see it that way at all.
All we did was switch the gender.
I don't see it that way at all.
Then that's all you got to do sometimes for it to not exactly for it to just suddenly
reverse.
I don't see it that way at all. And again, I'm not making a big deal out of this, but it became a big deal because
it became a big deal because the people that did not fit her type, preference, whatever you want to call it, were the ones offended.
Age-old Twitterism.
And that's always what happens.
Yeah.
You can sit there and say, a woman could say, I don't like short men. You know who's going to get mad? Short men. Even if they don't like her.
Right.
Even if they don't give up. Even if they were never checking for her, they're mad because they're alienated out of something they never wanted.
Mm-hmm.
She seems to get a particular rise out of people on Twitter, too, for some reason.
Because, a lot of it ties back to who she's with. The label,
the TDE part. Okay, gotcha.
So there's that going on, and then there's people can't understand, and I'm tired of the whole industry plant thing. Doechii's been working for years.
Yeah,
facts.
Like an industry plant is somebody that popped up yesterday that nobody knew who they were, and they're getting every look in the world, and like she's been working.
Make me be on the other side of this one.
Don't
be on the other side of it. Rock out.
And then at the same time, I'm quick to offer somebody grace when they have newly been thrust into like the upper echelon of fame. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not always going to have, to say the right thing. You're not a robot, you know what I'm saying? So you're going to say something and you're being cheeky and facetious, and then all of a sudden the internet's coming after you and you're like, wait, hold on 1 second here. I just like a lot of and straight guys tend not to fuck that. That's why it's a red flag for me, because I really like butt.
Because you can understand each other's shit.
I think that was what she was leading to, and this was just like a shortcut in terms of explaining that is her preference.
Because like you said, it's a playful show, and she didn't want to get into all the specifics about.
Well, that's not true, because Miss Milan said, I was going to say men for you. So it ain't just they both sitting there jokey, it's a playful show. It's, no, me and my bestie are like-minded when it comes to this area, at least, and because Miss Milan was supposed to guest for her. So, my best friend knows where I stand on this. And I would have loved to have heard the actual answer to the question. Hey, what is a red flag in the people that you date? That was the first thing I asked her when she came here. Hey, that verse on the and you went through his phone and saw that he was with the. That's intriguing.
It is.
You don't need to insert straight guys in this. Just be intriguing. But there is a thing. I'm not jumping on it because it's gonna make me seem like one of them. But there is a thing of straight men feeling like there's the erasure of them from television and from yada yada yada. That is a thing. It's not a Joe Budden thing.
Yeah,
it's a thing.
And I'm not saying that I'm enforcing that,
because it's crazy.
But
I mean, part of